We got ourselves a hoedown now.
From the advertising media capital of the world, New Milford, Connecticut, wherever that is. This is Mostly Automotive Marketing with Matt Wilson.
Oh, I see. We got a new shorter intro. There we go. Oh, this is like a live radio show. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a live episode of Mostly Automotive Marketing with Matt Wilson and the first episode of season 6. It's October 6th if you're listening live. It's October 14th if you're listening recorded to the first episode of season 6. Thank you for the new intro, Jim McCarthy, JimMcCarthyVoiceovers.com. He emailed me this new podcast intro without being asked, and he said, I made it shorter. Plus, I got tired of hearing myself say bi-weekly-ish awkwardly. Keep plugging me, bitch. You can even read this email on the next episode. That's what you should do. Zoe was telling me what I should do. Anyway, thank you, Jim McCarthy. We are taking your calls today on the podcast. Yes, we are. And the number, if you've got something to say, is 203-665-8305. That's 203-665-8305. We're also going to show some chats here on the right-hand side for those watching. We have a hi, Matt, from Suzanne Baumbach and Baumbach. I don't know why it's not displaying. Oh, I got to hit it for it to display. Oh, there we go. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Anyway, welcome to the episode. Today, I want to talk about in-house agencies. Do you need an in-house agency? That is the question for today. And I have a perspective. Okay, if my perspective is no, you don't need an in-house agency, people are going to assume that it's because I'm the account director at an agency. And if I say yes, you have to have an in-house agency, all my coworkers and probably my bosses are going to say, "What the hell, man?" But my answer is wishy-washy because I don't think it's black and white. I don't think it's cut and dry. I don't think it's an easy answer. Because it isn't. But my answer is rooted, my opinion is rooted in both sides of this discussion. The dealer side, right? I've said it before here. I was a marketing director for 7 years at a group where I handled the marketing for a bunch of stores in Connecticut, New York, New Jersey. It was an oddball store in California for some reason. A bunch of Nissan stores, one Honda store, one Volvo store. It didn't make a lot of sense, but I was. So I can speak objectively to the dealer side. And also, I've been on the agency side now for 2 years. So my opinion is not one-sided. I'm looking at it from both sides. I'm not looking at it from the I'm in an agency, you need an agency side. By the way, I like my purple mock turtleneck. Are those still in style? Probably not. So do you need an in-house agency? Or should you have your own in-house agency? And I will start by saying you need an in-house marketing person at the very least. Single point store, small group, large group, you need an in-house marketing person. And if you don't have an in-house marketing person at your dealership, then I guarantee you've got some marketing issues. Because if you don't have an in-house marketing person, or even a marketing man, it doesn't have to be a marketing director. It could be a marketing manager, someone that coordinates your marketing. Then the person handling your marketing doesn't have the experience to be handling your marketing. If you have a full service agency that oversees everything you do, then you don't need an in-house marketing person. A full service agency that handles everything you do can work very well with a general manager or an executive manager. But you need somebody that has a holistic look at everything you're doing. Third-party sites, everything digital, every media tactic, traditional media. You need somebody that has a clear picture of the entire marketing ecosystem at your store. If you have one company doing SEM, and you have the GM quarterbacking the third-party sites, and you have another company doing Facebook, then all those tactics, the creative and the strategy across those tactics, I guarantee do not match. You need either an in-house marketing person or an agency that handles everything, that coordinates it all. I'm not saying general managers and executive managers don't have the experience to handle the marketing, because they do, if they have an agency that handles it all, or at least oversees it all. Maybe they subcontract out some of the work, but you need to have I told you this answer was going to be wishy-washy. Don't mess with me. I said it up front. But there has to be somebody who looks at the whole picture, right? When I was at my group, we did some stuff in-house, and we used agencies or software solutions, SaaS, in some situations for our marketing. But my person, that doesn't make any sense. Me and my people in my department, me and my people all had a clear picture of what was going on. We knew everything. We knew what we were doing on Car Gurus. We knew what was going on our website. We knew what was going on our SEM, our Facebook. We knew it all. We were in the loop. If you want to get in on the podcast today, you can call us at 203-665-8305. That's 203-665-8305. We would love to take your calls, and we've got one right now. Who is on the line?
Hi, Matt. This is Dave.
Hey, Dave Salvi checking in. Dave, a professional in the automotive industry who worked with me back in the day, but we've been longtime pals. Best pals, if I don't overstep by saying that.
Not overstepping at all. I do find this to be an interesting conversation based on your experience between agency / in-house. I feel like no matter what way you do it, you're going to make some of your peers angry.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's just like the Brady Patriots thing. You can make people angry on either side if you're a Tom Brady fan and you're a Patriots fan.
It's a little different because that involves actual cheating and breaking of the rules and things, but I digress. We must look. I think you hit the nail on the head though when you said single point store, because I've worked in single point stores and I've worked in multi-point stores, and I think in a multi-point store, I think it's a lot more important that you have an agency that can keep the brand message the same if your stores are running together, if they're connected via name, via location, via advertising. If you run them all independently, it might be different, but then it becomes a cost issue of having a marketing person in each individual point. I think for a single point store, I think you definitely need to have somebody on staff who is daily, touch point for what's going on. How is our Facebook ads? Are we compliant with our ads on our website with the manufacturer? Because if you don't have that person, it's going to be too late when an issue happens and it gets to the owner.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. I think people, it can easily come across as, of course, Matt's in an agency. Of course he wants, dealerships to use agencies. But I think you're right in terms of even the group. Like, you're talking about if you have a group and the stores operate independently, which I think is okay, depending on the circumstances, but you definitely are missing out on some efficiencies expense-wise as well by not having those stores in the group work together. But what do you think about like a sales manager or an executive manager who's handling the marketing, but working with a number of different vendors? I'm dealing with my Cars.com rep, and this is my guy who does my SEM, and this is my guy who does my Facebook. But when a sales manager, an executive manager might not have the experience to make sure all those things are working together, and each individual company is operating in its own silo. They don't know what's going on in the other marketing tactics.
I really think it depends kind of on the personality of the person in the store. I think it's more realistic to be successful if it's an EM, because a sales manager has so many other things on their plate on a daily basis for tasks.
Yeah.
But a sales manager or an executive manager in a hometown store who can keep their pulse and keep those silos of marketing kind of organized the way they want it and making sure their hometown message gets across, I think can work fine. Also has to be a type A personality person to remain that organized. Sometimes in the car business, we deal with a little bit more of a, less than type A personality because of the sales aspect of it.
Right.
But that's something that definitely can work out. And once again, a guy who's selling in Bozeman, Montana is going to have a different requirement than a guy who's in Metro New York. Just in sheer number of options. I mean, OTT, SEO, social media, those things might not be, some of those things are regional, in my opinion.
Is Bozeman, Montana a real place, or did you make that up?
It is a real place. It's actually a highly metropolitan area, if I remember correctly, in Montana.
Wow. I didn't know there was any highly metropolitan areas in Montana.
Well, I think that's an arguable term based on the Midwest, but
right.
It is a city in Montana.
Population 46,000. Thriving metropolis.
Yeah, right.
Before we let you go, hey, how's those Jaguars doing?
Oh, we're really going to do this on your show for your
They're
not doing well, man. They're doing about as well as you would expect to have like the first day salesperson handle the advertising for the store.
All right, Dan. Well, I hope you enjoy the rest of your football season.
All right. Well, good luck
with
your cheating Patriots and Tom Brady love.
Oh, wow. Savage. Thanks, Dave.
See you later.
There you go. Dave Stalvey checking in. We tried to do SEM in-house at one of my stores. The owner said, hey, I want to try and do SEM in-house. And I'm like, okay. So me and two other folks who worked with me in the marketing department went through all the SEM training and certification, and we read like crazy and went through the Google courses and did all that stuff. And we said, we'll try it at one store for 6 weeks, and then if it's going well, we will roll it out to some other stores. So we did all the work and we start doing it, and it's three of us kind of teaming up and doing it together. Me, I was the marketing director, my graphic designer, I know it's a weird position, but she was working on it, and then my marketing manager, she was working on it as well. And we started doing it, and then it was going okay, I guess. And then my marketing manager left. And so now it's just down to two of us. And I'm handling multiple stores, and I'm traveling around. I don't have a lot of time to sit there and poke through my SEM account. And my graphic designer is a graphic designer. It's not an SEM person. So now we're in a position where we're struggling to get it done. And things are changing so fast in Google that we're not possibly able to keep up with the trends on what's going on with SEM. And eventually we went back to using an agency to do it. And I think what we learned was that you think, oh, well, I'll save some money by doing it in-house. I'm not paying an agency 15% or 20% or a flat fee or whatever. We'll do it ourselves. We'll do it manually. And we use the tool. I can't remember what the tool was called. I don't know. It wasn't that convenient. It wasn't a great tool. When it comes down to it, you can't be an expert at everything. And I definitely saw that there was a benefit to using a company that are experts in that area. That's what they focus on. And I had no problem admitting, like, listen, this isn't working for us. Because you got to be able to ask for help. So, okay, the moral of the story is you need somebody that is looking at all aspects of your marketing. All these things are operating in their own silo, but there has to be somebody who's looking at the big picture. If it's an executive manager who's looking at the big picture, great. If it's a general sales manager or a GM or a sales manager, I think you can oversee what you have going on, but you need a marketing person, a marketing assistant, or a full service agency to have an idea of what's going on across all of your marketing tactics. Because they need to be working together, from what's on your homepage to what's in your radio spot to what is on Facebook to what you have going on in your SEM messaging. All those things need to match, and someone's got to be watching out for all those things. And whether it's an in-house person, marketing person, an executive manager, or an agency, I think you've got to be aware of what's happening. You guys hear about all these Carvana issues? Somebody will pick that up. It's fine. All these Carvana issues are getting out of control. The story is from Florida. Tampa, Florida. Florida, you say. There's always something happening in Florida. This is from WFLA, a television station. I'm told it's in color in Tampa, Florida. I'll read from their article. The popular online car dealer Carvana saw a boom in business during the pandemic as more consumers chose driveway delivery options as a safe alternative to buying a car at a traditional dealership. But that convenience came at a big price for some Tampa Bay area buyers. They found they couldn't legally drive their vehicles, even though they were stuck making payments for a car and for insurance. Michael Johnson of Treasure Island, ooh, that sounds fun, says, I'm paying every month, but my car is completely useless. He got pulled over by the police, 5150, 5150. Is that a Van Halen record? He says, when he pulled me over, I gave him all the paperwork on my car. He ran it and said it's not valid. The deputy doesn't even know why Carvana would give this paperwork to me. It's not legal either to have it in Florida, and I'm a Florida resident. So the dude had a copy of an Arizona license plate, a temporary Arizona license plate on his car, and did not have the title for his car that he bought from Carvana. The car came, he didn't have the title, didn't have the right license plate. They slapped an temporary Arizona plate on it, which is apparently against the law. That's what the cop says in Tampa. So this station, WFLA, WFLA, looked into it. And as it turns out, it's happening all over the place, right? There was another guy in Tampa who was driving a Subaru he bought from Carvana, but the company couldn't locate the title. And so he complained, and they swapped out the car for a Volkswagen Jetta, which, by the way, is not the same, right? Subaru's all-wheel drive. Is a Volkswagen Jetta all-wheel drive? I don't know, but maybe not. A spokesman from Carvana said she would look into the issue and get back to the guy, but she never got back to him. It never happened. Interesting. Florida, not the only place where Carvana's had these issues. WFLA found that in North Carolina, public records show the state recently suspended Carvana's license in one county until the end of January. Spokesman for the North Carolina Department of Justice said one of the reasons is that Carvana issued out-of-state temporary tags and plates and failed to turn over titles to the state DMV. These are issues. And people who are buying cars, somebody pick that up. People who are buying cars from Carvana don't know about these issues until it happens to them. If you've got something to say, by the way, you can call in 203-665-8305, or there's a video link in the description online, 203-665-8305, or click on the link and you can get on video or get on phone and give me your comment. So, Carvana's got all these great commercials, which makes the automotive industry look bad, talking about how easy it is to buy a car through Carvana, and these problems are popping up, right? There's these issues that are coming about, and it's not the great experience in all situations that they say it is. But is there anything that we can do about it as an industry? Is there anything that we can do to say, hey, listen, we're not what they say we are. And they're not what they say they are. I have a buddy of mine who owns a dealership, and he bought a car through Vroom, which is like a Carvana, but with a different name. And it was a nightmare. And I'm going to have him on the podcast another time to tell us his story. He's told me the story before over lunch, and it was fascinating. So Carvana has issues. And listen, I know we've all had title issues at our dealership. Titles are goofy, especially for used cars. It happens. You got to mail a title. You can't get the title. The guy didn't have the title. Like, I get it. There's title issues out there. We should have asked Dave. Dave has a finance background. When he was on, we should have asked him about title issues. But we need to be cognizant of issues that Carvana are having and then prevent ourselves from having those same issues at our dealership. Now, this is the first episode of season 6. And in the next episode, or a couple episodes coming up, I'm going to have a panel about this topic. We're going to get a compliance guy on, my buddy Tom Klein. We're going to get Matt Sneed, operations director at Power Ford. We're going to get Todd Bennett, the owner of Todd Maserati Alfa Romeo. He's the guy who bought the car from Vroom. We're going to get him on. We got another guy or two that are going to come on. And we're going to talk about this Carvana issue and talk about how we need to be cognizant of it and what we can do to prevent those issues at our dealership, and how it gives us an opportunity to fight back against Carvana and Vroom. All right. Also, lots of other episodes coming up in season 6. We've got the Carvana panel I'm going to start off season 6, or not start off. This is starting off. The next episode of season 6 is going to be with Kyle Monsier. You all know Kyle, Contagious Auto, Contagious Media. I don't know the name of his new company. He's always got something going on, and he's plugged into what's happening. And we're going to have Kyle on and talk about Digital Dealer. We'll have him on right after Digital Dealer, and we'll talk about, he's the co-founder of Contagious Auto. There you go. And we're going to have him on, and we're going to talk about what's the word on the street? What's new? What's trending? What's happening in our industry? In regards to what was going on in the talk of the town at Digital Dealer in Vegas, Las Vegas. They call it Sin City, you know. So we'll have Kyle on. I'm going to talk to Fleming Ford about embracing change at your dealership. That's going to be a great episode. We're also going to talk about what happens when you fire your agency. How does an agency handle it? This will be a good one for the agency people. How does an agency handle it? And then we'll talk to Sarah Johnson will be my guest on that episode. One of my favorite people. She's the CEO at Lead Lab Media. I'll have her on to talk about that. And then we'll have on Zach Ferris, and we're going to talk about CRMs. I love talking about CRMs. So we'll have Zach on to have that discussion. All right. Was that it? Should I talk about the Patriots and Tom Brady game? No, I think I'm good. Should I play my electric guitar for you? A lot of people have been telling me that I've got guitars in the background of my my pitches, and people say, "Oh, those just for scenery, or for is that a conversation piece in the background, or can you actually play it?" And I said, "No, I can play it. I like to play in the morning a little bit when everyone's out of the house and I'm getting ready for the day, and spend most of my time tuning it because I don't know how to tune it without a phone app." And then people say, "Oh, you don't really know how to play it." And I do know how to play it. So I recorded myself playing it here. Let me get my recording. Here we go. This is to prove that I know how to play my own guitar. I recorded this. See, I told you I know how to play. It's good, right? The guitar's a little out of tune. This is the guitar. All right, there you go. That served no purpose, but I just wanted to tell people who yes, thank you. That was good, right? That I do know how to play that guitar. Or maybe that wasn't really me. You'll never know. All right. Mostly Automotive Marketing with Matt Wilson, presented by Silverback Advertising, online at silverbackadvertising.com. Stay in touch, like and follow. You can listen to the podcast wherever you find podcasts. Season 6 is going to be a good one. Lots of great episodes coming up. Twice a week. No more bi-weekly-ish. Twice weekly-ish. How do you say that? Twice weekly? Double weekly-ish. I don't know how to say it. But it's going to be on twice a week next week through the holidays. Not Hanukkah, because Hanukkah's early this year. Through the holidays. Past Thanksgiving, past Hanukkah, twice weekly-ish. Thanks for listening to Mostly Automotive Marketing with Matt Wilson, presented by Silverback Advertising. Peace out.
Mostly Automotive Marketing with Matt Wilson is brought to you by... Wait, this guy has sponsors?
Oh, I know.
Oh, never mind. This sheet of paper is blank. No sponsors. That makes more sense. For updates, info, future episodes, and more, follow on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, like on Facebook, and connect on Frackle. You guys made that last one up. That's not even a thing, Frackle. Come on.